So, folks, welcome back. This is Cr.24.2. The next update that I want to give you is to know that there is another batch of books on the way. The first batch of books sold really quickly, sold 100, and then I ordered another batch of books, which, because of the holidays, was delayed a little bit, but I've just received the notification that it has been delivered, and there are 100 more copies sitting in Giles & Co. waiting to go out. So for all of those of you who have not yet had a chance to get the hands on the book, let me just show you the website. I'll put the link in the description. CambridgeCracker.sumupstore.com. Easy, bloody peasy. And there it is. It's a website, and it's how you buy the book. You can order it. I'll send it to you, or you can order it for pickup, and you can come and pick it up from the shop. And there's a list of shops here on the front page which shows you where you can pick them up. Cantab Millennium, that's Shapoor's shop before the bridge. You got Cut Price Carpets, that's over on the other side of the bridge, and then the Old Chemist Antique Shop on the other side of the bridge. And I've just also been requested from, I forget your name. Let me just look up your name. Shit, was it? I'm trying to remember the name. There's another antique shop on Gwyder Street. I think they're just called Mill Road Antiques. They want to also supply the book. There's Fantasia, which is on the second floor or the upper floor of the Grand Arcade. That's open until the 24th, I think, of January. That's Pam's shop. You can also pick it up from my shop in Giles & Co. And there's also the Tourist Information Centre supplies it for me as well, inside the Guildhall. So that list is available on there. That's for you if you want to have a look at it. Let me just quickly, I'll find out the name of this person. Just bear with me a moment. Oh, I can't remember the password. All right, I'm not prepared for this part of the video. It doesn't matter. It's on the website. You can go from this video to that website now. You can also get it in the in the shops. Cantab Millennium, Cut Price Carpets, the Old Chemist Antique Shop, Mill Road Antique Shop on Gwyder Street, Giles & Co. on Trinity Street, Fantasia in the Grand Arcade, and the Tourist Information Centre inside the Guildhall. Those are the places you can pick it up. And just quickly, before I finish this video, I just want to share with you some of the comments which have come about in response to this book, because, you know, it's gratifying when people appreciate what you've done. And so yeah, let me just pause this for a second. The thing that's funny about this book is, since it came out, it only served to further expose the you know, what's typical of this situation. So obviously, by getting involved in this thing, you know, supposedly as a journalist, to try to find out what was going on in my town and ask people questions, I automatically created enemies who were against what I was doing, who didn't want to sort of answer to what I was saying or grapple with the points I was raising or answer the questions I was raising, but they just wanted to shut me down and discredit me as a journalist. So the book came out, if I remember rightly, let me just look back through here. So it was around, I posted the advert for the book on the 16th. Yeah, mid-December. It was like the 14th, 15th or 16th, okay, of December. And within 2 days, I started getting messages from people saying that all the posts that people have been putting on Nextdoor have been taken down. And so then more and more people started putting posts up on Nextdoor to say, read this book, it's out now. And within hours, they were being taken down. Yeah. So what the hell is that? I took some screenshots while I had the opportunity, because I thought, well, you know, I want to see the posts which people are actually finding so offensive or in violation of community guidelines, it has to be deleted. But obviously, the people who are deleting these posts from Nextdoor, the moderators, they just don't want people to read the book for their own reasons. But we can only suppose. But anyway, so I took these captions. Let's just read through this here. This book is amazing. It not only exposes the corruption with our council, but also how the cycling and very small Mill Road lobbying groups, i.e. Mill Road for People, are intertwined with the local councillors. A must read. I agree, halfway through it. Disturbing but very enlightening and well written. And then Kate Harrison, is this going to provide a balanced view? Looking at the comments here, it seems to be making biased comments against supporters of sustainable transport. Please read it, Kate, and tell us your opinion. So obviously that is the main sort of crux of a lot of my... I mean, I haven't got a problem with it. These people are free to do what they want. I'm not bothered. But anybody who is a critic of me hasn't read my book. So how are you going to have an opinion and tell me that it's biased or not balanced until you read it? So let's see what this woman has to say. Somebody said, please read it and tell us your opinion. £10? No thanks, especially as it's not clear where the money is going. Kate, you can't judge a book by other people's opinions. Those are subjective. You might have a totally different perspective. Read it first, then tell us what you think. I'd be interested to hear your views. What impressed me is that all his data is backed up with sources. Maggie, I have posted this for those who have asked where they can buy it from. It's become a talking point on Mill Road, especially the traders. I'm sure some people will assume it's not factual, but so far it does just outline facts. I've not finished it yet. So the point is that before you can decide whether I'm full of bias and I'm propaganding or espousing lies and gibberish, you better pick up a copy and have a look through it, and then you can grapple with it and then criticise it. Only then. I think it's clear that the author has his own agenda, says Kate. As with every single book that I have ever read in my entire life, bar certain textbooks and legal terms, why should this be of concern? Because they can't be trusted to give an unbiased report, especially since the money is going towards those against closing the bridge to traffic. Well, it's a divisive issue, Kate. There are many who would say that information on the pro-closure website cannot be trusted. One man's meat is another man's poison. The local media is constantly featuring articles that deride those who attempt to close the bridge. Why is this any different? Surely he is still allowed to have and share his opinion on this in this country, especially one backed by facts and evidence. Michael, he can share his opinion and I can share mine, that I don't think he'll give a balanced report in his book raising money for the legal challenge. That's fine. That's fine. But that would have to be personal prejudice stopping you from reading the book. That's fine. You don't want to read the book, but there are lots of issues. It's strange. I don't have a copy of the book to hand because they all sold. The point is that the book raises many issues and exposes many hidden truths about what happened with this Mill Road situation. And there is an appendix at the back which is just the sources of evidence. Is not biased in that I have just shared with you the sources of evidence. I can tell you my opinion about what I think, but at the end of the day I went on a journey with an open mind. I didn't know anything about this in January 2023. In February I started asking questions, and the book is the story of what happened. And at the back of the book is the appendices which I've based all of it on. So that is what you are being asked to form an opinion about. Not me. It's not about me. It's a book which features evidence. Take a look at it and tell us what you think. That's what they don't want to do, you see. And that's why after these screenshots, eventually they come round. So this conversation goes on for a long time, and it's when these conversations, when these threads gain a lot of traction, then they get deleted. And I didn't take a screenshot of the fact that it had been deleted. But the point is that for a few days there, that first week when the book was just out, people were posting onto Nextdoor saying, look at this book, and within hours it was gone. So they're the same people who criticise me before reading the work and say that I'm biased are suppressing publicity of the book itself. Probably because they don't want to have to grapple with what's in it. Instead of actually going through the book and saying this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie, and proving that they're all lies, that I'm full of shit, they just say, oh, I can't read him because he's biased. That's your opinion. So anyway, this is the situation in Cambridge surrounding this absolute nonsense. It's the same thing to do with the congestion charge, it's the same thing to do with this as well. Anyway, I wrote the book because I wanted to put forward everything that I had found. I wanted to tell the story of how that all came to be, and most importantly, I wanted to raise the debate again. I wanted people in the public to hear what was going on, read what was going on, and start talking about what was going on. Because this is an ongoing thing. That's why I did it. Don't criticise me personally. There's lots that you could criticise me about if you really want to, but it's not about me, it's about this story. It's in the book. And then once you've read the book, then you can start criticising me. But until then, it's hard for your opinion to have any weight. You know, you're talking about something that you don't understand. Anyway, there's another comment here. This is, I find, it's nice when people write to you and say, this book is really well written, thank you for doing it. Anna Bailey said it was a first-class read. Neil Mackay called it an extraordinary work. You know, these are all good. This is nice for my ego. But the real comment, which I thought was, interesting. Oh, another point here. Simon King had his content blocked because it was suspected of fraud. And then his appeal is saying, this is not fraudulent, nor have I posted this before. This has as much right to be seen by everyone as anything else that appears. This book is informative and shows background and clarity on local issues. If this book is hidden or removed, I would suspect corruption and bias, not spam or fraud. So this is a member of the public thinking. They have the ability to think. They don't just have to be told what to think, and just because you put an opinion piece in the newspaper doesn't mean that they're going to just change their mind. They have the ability to form their own opinion, but only if and once they have been given all of the facts. If you try to only let them see some facts and you try to remove other facts from them, that on its own is suspicious, and that will make people form an opinion about the people who are doing that. These people on Nextdoor who are deleting posts about my book, they are the ones who are trying to control the discourse and control people's access to information. I am trying to share it. That's all I'm doing. Criticise me if you like, but you'll have to actually reckon with me once you start doing that. Anyway, here's the comment which I wanted to share. So this is, I hope it's not his real name, Adalbertus Taurinensis. If that is your real name, I'm sorry. Anyway, this is his comment, and this is, to me, the crux of why any journalist would want to write something which they feel strongly about, and they want people to become aware of it. So this person didn't know anything about it before. He says, thank you all for everything you have done and are doing. I've limited myself to a small donation and buying 2 copies of the book. One for myself and one for a person who, though opposed to the closure, prefers not to expose himself publicly. On my defence, until recently I was unaware of this existing group. A Mill Road trader kept me informed about the developments of the bridge closure. Initially, the matter was indifferent to me and I never delved into it. I work in an office on Mill Road. I do not own a car and primarily move around by bike or on foot. However, my blood began to boil when it was explained to me how the democratic process in this decision was used as a farce. Since then, I have sought updates from the aforementioned Mill Road trader and signed petitions. I am one of the victims of the GDPR breach. That's something which we go into in the book, for those who don't remember it. One day, I was shown a video on the Cambridge Cracker YouTube channel, and a world opened up to me. There was someone in Cambridge fighting not just for a bridge to remain open, but also for democratic values. During the Mill Road Winter Fair, I personally met William. I have to say, I don't recognise who you are, but thank you for this comment, this feedback. He informed me about the release of the book, The Battle for Milrow Bridge. After reading it, I have come to the conclusion that many laws have been violated by someone within the City Council and County Council institutions. If my conclusion is correct, once the judiciary review reaches its end, wouldn't it be appropriate and just to continue with legal actions, personally and financially pursue those who have violated the laws and wasted public money? Wouldn't it be right to send a message to the future, especially in light of Sniff the Air's tweet? Well, Albert, if you don't mind me calling you Albert, it's really gratifying to see somebody actually responding to the book, you know, in the way that it's intended to be. I shared the information, somebody who was unaware of it became aware of it and started thinking about it, and now they're saying, wait a minute, somebody's broken the law, shouldn't we pursue this? You know, and shouldn't we send a message? I agree with that. Now, if you want to get on board with this thing, you can do, obviously. Just pay attention to what's been going on. The fact of the matter is that this judicial review thing is, you know, it can't be done again and again and again. This is about sending a message that there are people in Cambridge who won't just take things lying down. But this is also because we wanted to, I personally anyway, I wanted to make the council answer for themselves, because they never do. They always just brush things over or make up excuses or, you know, explain stuff away. And people who can see clearly what they're doing have got no recourse. This is the only time they're actually going to be made to answer for themselves. The sad fact is that they have the public money. They are spending the public's money to fight this court case. We're raising money from the public to take them to court, and they're using public money to fight against us. We're fighting an uphill struggle. It's clear, you know, let's be honest about that. But we put it to the courts because that's what we want to happen. We want the courts to be the one to administer this, not the council themselves. We don't want to have some internal review, you know, like what happened with Nick Johnson. They have 2 years of internal hearings about all of these violations of code of conduct and stuff, and then all he does is issue an apology, and then they vote not to release the details of what the apology was for. That's what happens when they deal with stuff internally. No, we want the courts, the high courts of the land, to deal with them. Anyway, I digress here. This is all part of the conversation that I'm trying to encourage. This is what we want to happen. There's too much secrecy and bullshit in local politics, particularly social media and the way that the newspapers are sort of edited and run. You know, more things to kind of pay attention to from my point of view. I released this book. The editor of the Cambridge Independent snubbed me. They haven't put anything in the book, in the newspaper, about the book, even though it's a local journalist, a local writer, produced a book. It sold 100 copies and it's gone into second print. In the first week of it coming out, the moderators of the Nextdoor platform were routinely deleting the posts. So the clique who want the bridge to close have been trying to shut down publicity for the book itself. That's a news story. That's a story. That's a local news story. I have created a local news story. No one wants to hear it. No one wants to tell it. Nah. Anyway. So anyway, that's Adalbertus Torinensis. Thank you for that feedback there. And then obviously underneath the post comes this whole sprawl of comments and things, which is good. We want people to comment and have a conversation. This is the point. We want people to know about it and talk about it and have an opinion and discuss it. This is a democracy. This is what it's for. This is what we do. Anyway, so I'm rambling on now. This is at 16, coming on to 17 minutes. I have a feeling that a lot of my videos are going to creep over that 15-20 minute mark. But let's not do it now. The book is out. There's another batch arrived. It will be available from this weekend moving forward. You can put in your orders online. There's already some outstanding. They've put the orders in. and I just have to basically fulfill those orders. I put them in the post and send it out to you, or if you live near me, I can drop it off. Other than that, you can pick it up from Cantab Millennium, Cut Price Carpets, the Old Antique Shop, the Mill Road Antique Shop, I'm sorry if I'm getting your name wrong, and Giles & Co, Tourist Information Centre, and Fantasia in the Grand Arcade. And as always, let me thank you for watching this video. Just to reiterate, this is, what is this? Cr.24.2, that's this video. There will be regular updates and output on a Friday. If you want to keep up to date with what's going on, subscribe to the channel. You are all welcome to contribute. I do want to hear from you. I want to hear your points of view. This is not just focusing specifically on the Mill Road Bridge. Last year we were talking about the congestion charge, but this year we've got lots and lots going on in and around Cambridge. You know, there's the Cambourne to Cambridge busway, which supposedly is still in the pipeline, still in the works, even though as far as I can see it's stalling at the TWO stage. We can talk about that. I invite the people who are knowledgeable about that subject to come and talk to me. There was the Nick Johnson fiasco, which we can talk about. I would invite people to talk to me about that. Anna Bailey, I would love to have you on the channel. Tell me about your points of view about what happened in that CPCA nonsense. Of course, we've got Michael Gove now saying that he wants to introduce 150,000 new homes in and around Cambridge using a development corporation, which by the sounds of it will be as bad, if not worse, probably the same as the GCP, but more powerful. So if that doesn't run rankles through all of you and get your back up, then I don't know what you think. Cambridge is developing at an absolutely breakneck pace. We haven't got enough water. There's things going on in the South Cams, this 4-day working week thing with this woman doing her PhD. There's so much going on. These houses in Durham Green, I mean, you only have to read the newspaper to see Cambridge is in a real mess moving forward. So this is really what the channel I want to be about, is all of these things. And not just bad news either. Come and tell me your good stories. Write in the comments, say, hey Cracker, come and do a piece about my story, or this thing is happening, and I'll try to keep up to date with it as often as I can. I'm a busy person, I have a job, I make a living, and I have designated now, moving forward, Friday as my Cambridge Cracker Day. So that's where I'm going to sit myself down at this desk, I'm going to read the messages, I'm going to go through it, and we'll talk about stuff. Okay? That's it. We're at 20 minutes. Stop it.